Can you explain Aha to me? In like what? I mean, it's so. I mean, we know Aha as a band that had a number one hit, smash, all over the world, so big that the James Bond people noticed it. They had a top 20 hit in the United States, and then they kind of fell off. But they keep going on. So they continued, and why don't you kind of give like a brief rundown of what is Aha and the guys in the band.
And the extent of their success in the rest of the world.
Yeah, well, AHA were three very ambitious young men who decided to go to London to break through and to be pop stars. They decided that when they were very young, and they were totally convinced that they would succeed, and nobody else was convinced. So even I, who knew some people that went to London when they were there, they met them and they even heard their music and thought they were terrible. And when they showed up on television in Norway for the first time, everybody thought it was kind of, it wasn't very convincing. But at the same time, we really hoped for it because Norway had nothing culturally. We had no films that anybody knew. We had no football players that anybody knew, no music, nothing. So we hoped that they would succeed, but we didn't think they would. But then they did, and it's really strange that they lost the US so quickly. I guess they had this idea that they could have a hit and then do whatever they wanted, just like the Beatles had done. But the problem was that the Beatles spent 4, 5, 6 years being a pop band, and then they started doing the other thing. But Aha started immediately after the hit, and so the second album was not what people probably expected after Take on Me. So America was lost quite soon. But in the rest of the world, in the UK and South America, all over the world, they continued being a big band. And even after breaking up, after 5 albums or having a pause, they came back and it turned out they were still really big. And for the last 20 years, they've toured a lot, released new records, and still have really big audiences. I mean, bigger than many other bands that you might think are bigger. I mean, they are probably one of the biggest bands from the 80s. If you look at it from, how many people go and see their shows. I think for sure U2 are bigger, and The Cure, and certainly some American bands I don't even remember now, but they are bigger than many bands that are more famous.